Imagine holding a beautifully crafted, heavy luxury watch. The moment it rests on that velvet display, your brain makes assumptions about its quality. But what if you look at the price tag and it says $20? Suddenly, all that luxury feels suspicious. You don't think, what a steal. You think, what's wrong with it? This chart shows how our brains process value. When a product sits in this specific quadrant, high perceived quality but a very low price, it creates a brand disconnect. Your pricing is actively fighting the story your product is trying to tell. Getting this wrong has real consequences. Set the wrong price and you might accidentally start a race to the bottom with competitors, leave money on the table, or permanently cheapen your reputation. So how do you find the exact right number? Today, we're going to break down the 5 core pricing models and give you a practical framework to match the right strategy to your specific business goals. Additional anchor for your marketing mix. If that number is off, the highest quality materials or best advertising can't save the sale. Let's start with the most straightforward approach, cost plus pricing. You take the total cost of making your product and you add a fixed percentage markup on top. The appeal here is predictability. It mathematically ensures that for every single unit you sell, you are hitting your exact profit target. Here is a scorecard evaluating cost plus. You'll notice the glaring weakness. It completely ignores what the consumer is actually willing to pay. If demand unexpectedly drops and you don't sell enough units, those fixed costs don't get covered and you lose money. Now, if you are selling soap or cereal in a crowded supermarket aisle, you're likely looking at competitive pricing. This means setting your price exactly at or very close to your direct competitors. This strategy keeps the peace. It prevents destructive price wars where everyone loses, and it helps you safely hold on to your baseline market share. The trade-off is that you can no longer use your price tag as a selling point. To stand out, you have to spend heavily on packaging, advertising, or brand loyalty to convince people to choose your box over the identical one next to it. Both cost-plus and competitive pricing offer operational safety and reliable margins, but they require you to sacrifice impressive growth and total revenue optimization. But what if you aren't defending territory? What if you're launching something brand new? You face a distinct choice. Do you charge a premium to pay back your research costs, or do you undercut the market to quickly build an audience? If you choose to undercut, you're using penetration pricing. You enter the market with a price noticeably lower than the established players. The math is simple. A low barrier to entry encourages people to try your product immediately, helping you grab market share as fast as possible. However, you have to be willing to absorb very low, sometimes negative, margins up front. Worse, you permanently anchor your brand in the customer's mind as the cheap option. When you eventually try to raise that price, customers might just walk away. The exact opposite approach is price skimming. This is when you launch a highly innovative or prestige product with a premium price tag. By charging a high price early on, you quickly earn back those expensive development costs. At the same time, that premium number acts as a psychological signal to early adopters that your product is high quality and exclusive. Looking at this comparison matrix, the catch with skimming becomes clear. You severely restrict your initial customer base. And those attractive, high-profit margins act as a beacon, practically inviting competitors to jump into the market and undercut you. When you launch a product, your price decides your battleground. You are either actively buying market share, or you are successfully selling exclusivity. Let's shift away from physical goods to the digital space, where we find dynamic pricing. This relies on algorithms to constantly tweak prices in real time, based on shifts in demand. You see this constantly with airlines, with event tickets and hotel rooms. These businesses have fixed capacity inventory. An empty seat on a flight, taking off is revenue lost forever. Dynamic pricing targets that problem directly. It ensures every available unit is sold at the absolute highest price a specific buyer is willing to pay at that exact moment, maximizing the total revenue possible. But look at the reality on the screen. Showing 2 drastically different prices for the exact same seat to 2 different users raises serious ethical questions. If customers feel they're being tracked and penalized for their buying history, they will feel manipulated. While dynamic algorithms can give you perfect yield optimization on a spreadsheet, they force you to constantly manage a severe risk, the rapid erosion of your consumers' trust. Your pricing strategy is dictated by your primary goal. To gain market share, use penetration or competitive pricing. To maximize prestige, choose price skimming. For fixed capacity, use dynamic pricing. And for predictable margins, cost-plus pricing is your reliable baseline. Never set a price in isolation. Your price is a promise of value to the consumer. Pick the strategy that fits your reality, and ensure your product backs up that promise every single time.